My name is Moon Petrie. It is the 14th of Pantstober, and at this point, I'm going to suggest that you ask a lot of questions. As always, the usual disclaimer applies. I'm not an expert. This is not an instructional video. I'm just fumbling along like everybody else, and if you want to fumble along with me, help yourself to any of my ideas. Yesterday's video was about gathering the pieces together that you have come up with so far and trying to see which ones you can combine and how you can get a bunch of the pieces to fit into one story together. Today, I suggest, if you have something along those lines, if you have a partial outline or bits and pieces of brainstorming, whether it's anything like what I've suggested or not, my idea for today is to ask yourself where the holes are in what you have come up with so far. So maybe you're familiar with some story structure formula and you think about it that way, or maybe you just think about books that you have read and enjoyed or how you approach things usually. Or maybe without any sort of format for it, you can just look at it and say to yourself, there is stuff missing here. Now, it is not my intention to convince you to spend today or any day or even the next 2 weeks answering all of the questions. I am simply saying that you'll have an easier time getting your brain to spontaneously come up with stuff in the shower or while you are lying in bed at night if you ask the questions. So just go through what you have, and I suggest a list on paper or in a document and see where stuff doesn't fit together, where there are gaps, where there's information missing, where you need something and there's nothing, and then ask questions. There's an author tuber I'm going to recommend to you. Her name is Haley and her channel is Foggy Fiction. She is linked below, specifically a video about what questions you can ask at this point or a similar point in a brainstorming or outlining process. I encourage you to subscribe to her. She is lovely and the video is great. This is often a stage in the process where I say to myself, my character probably has parents, right? Or if there are scenes taking place at a school, I might want to know more about this school. Or I have set this up so everything takes place in a small town. How am I going to be sure where things are in relation to each other in a small town? Or for my character's growth, I think it would be important for somebody to betray them. Who could that be? What is their financial situation like? What is their family situation like? Do they have a lot of friends? One really good close friend? Is anyone going to be murdered in this book? At any rate, that is today's suggestion. Look at what you have and figure out what you don't have, just so you can let it percolate, or possibly you will be able to answer some of these questions pretty promptly. Until tomorrow, I am Moon Petrie, and there's a link below to the Pantstober playlist if you have missed some of this month's videos and are curious what I was inexpertly talking about. And don't forget to check out Foggy Fiction as well. Sirens are happening.